Ken, the L.E.A.N MindBody Coach here in the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Kitchen. If you're watching this video on YouTube, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, remember to subscribe to get notifications of any future videos that I do. And if you're not watching it on the YouTube platform, then pop over to YouTube and just subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you a lovely recipe. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you're going to love this recipe. It's actually one of my favorite recipes, and it goes really well with the cauliflower rice which I made in the previous recipe. Now, I was thinking the other day, it's just nearly 3 years since I've been on this lean lifestyle journey, and it's been phenomenal. I mean, I've had so many health benefits that have come from living this way, not least losing over 50 pounds in weight, reversing my pre-diabetes, and also curing my sleep apnea. And that's just to name a few. It's just been a wonderful experience for me. And what's been great is that I've been able to share this experience with so many people over the 3 years, my friends and my clients, and they have benefited in the same way. And I'm going to tell you about a project which I'm going to launch very soon called the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe Community, which is going to allow individuals to be able to journey with me over the next weeks, months and years, and not just start this lifestyle, but maintain and sustain this lifestyle for many years to come. So I'll give you some details about the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe Community at the end of this video. But today I'm going to make what I call a Caribbean recipe. It's called Caribbean Plantain and Spinach curry. Now, I know some of you must be thinking, plantain, that sweet taste with curry, will it work? Well, I can assure you it absolutely does work. Now, I'm using plantain. I'm also using some onions and tomatoes, so it's not a very keto friendly dish. So if you're on a very low carb restriction, then this dish may not be for you. But if you can manage a few extra carbs, then it's a great dish to have as a main meal or as a complement. All right, so these are the ingredients. I have some spinach here, just a bag of spinach. Make sure it's washed, because you know sometimes the spinach doesn't come washed. I have 1 onion, and that onion is kind of diced like this. I kind of like it sliced like this. I also have a scotch bonnet. Now, I've only used about a third of the scotch bonnet. You have to decide how hot you can handle it. Some people might use half, some people might use quarter, but I've just used a third of the scotch bonnet, chopped up very finely. And then I have some crushed garlic here. If you haven't got crushed garlic, then you can always use some granules, garlic granules. I have about 200 grams of plum tomatoes. I've just cut them in half, so it's about 200 grams here. And I have 2 ripe plantains here. They're just diced, small, thin, but not too thin because they are meant away. But so I've got 2 plantains that are diced. I also have 2 tablespoons worth of curry powder, and then I also have a tin of coconut milk. And we're just also going to use some ground black pepper. We're going to use some all-purpose seasoning, and we're going to use some ground cumin. And then we need, you know, just a little bit of olive oil just to base the pan. So the pan's been on, it should be hot enough now. So let's just move straight to this recipe, shall we? Okay, so we're just going to use a little bit of olive oil just to base the pan slightly. Here we are, just a little bit of olive oil there. It should be reasonably hot. And we're going to add the garlic and the scotch bonnet pepper. You can hear that sizzling away. I love scotch bonnet. It really brings out a wonderful flavour in the food. And you know, I tell you, I just don't miss out on any foods on a low carb diet, and nor would you. Woo! That garlic, you know, sometimes when you're cooking garlic, it kind of hits you. So there's the garlic, and you just turn this down a little bit. Just keep the fire on a medium heat. It doesn't have to be really high. So we're just gonna brown the garlic there a minute. It should just take a minute or so, and then we're gonna add the onions. So let's add the onions in there, and we'll just let that cook for a few minutes, just to let the onions just kind of simmer and soften. So now we're gonna add the sliced tomatoes to the pan. Just give that a little stir, and we're just gonna leave that now just to cook for about 5 minutes. Let's put the lid back on and just leave that just to cook down a little bit for about 5 minutes. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 5 minutes now. Everything should be a little bit softer now. So let's just recap. Firstly, it was just a chili or scotch bonnet, because if you don't have the scotch bonnet, then you could just use chopped chilies. There was 1 red onion, and then about 200 grams of sliced plum tomatoes. Next, we are going to add the 2 ripe plantains diced. So we'll add that to the pan and just stir that around. And then we're just gonna give it a pinch of black pepper. And then we'll give it, I'd say, just a 1/4 spoon of all-purpose seasoning. And then we'll also add a 1/4 spoon of ground cumin to the pan. So we'll add that there as well. And then we'll add the 2 tablespoons of curry powder. So let's just mix that around. Just give that a good stir so the plantain and everything just gets covered with the curry powder and everything else. You can really begin to smell it now. Really smell the garlic, smell the curry powder. The flavors are starting to hit you already before it's actually even being cooked. Yeah, that's looking absolutely lovely there. And we're just gonna leave that just for, just a couple of minutes, just to settle itself there. Let's cover that back and just leave that for a couple of minutes. I don't know if any of you've ever considered a low carb diet, but I can assure you, you know, you're not gonna miss out on taste. There is one thing that I have noticed from the start of my diet is that I can eat really fantastic, great tasting foods until I am full. I have never felt hungry on a low carb diet, and I've always enjoyed my food and still lost weight. So if you're considering a way of eating that can help you lose weight and become healthier, I would say look at a low carb diet and reducing the sugar in your food. And especially around this time of the coronavirus, when many of us have been in our homes and we've had nothing better to do than to eat or to snack. Possibly our waistlines may have increased a little bit more over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And as we begin to come out of this coronavirus, which I hope will be very soon and we're allowed out, you want to be looking your best because summer is coming. And a low carb diet is a great way to be able to do that and look great. So just going to leave that for a couple of minutes and then we'll come back and then we'll do the next part. So this has just been cooking for a few minutes. I stirred it a couple of times in between just to, you know, mix it all in. Now we're going to add the tin of coconut milk. Lovely. So there we have the tin of coconut milk there, and we're just going to mix that all around there. to mix that in. And this is, yeah, where you can really start to, you know, smell the aromas and the flavors of the meal. So once that's done there, now we're going to leave this to, you know, cook and simmer for about between 10 and 12 minutes, possibly between 10 and 12 minutes. We're going to leave that to cook there and just cook down. You know, one of the greatest satisfactions I get is how people benefit from the coaching and the training and living a lean lifestyle. And I had a program back in November, and one of the ladies on my program lost over 21 pounds during the program. That is so great, and you know, they were skeptical before the program started, and it's one of the most satisfying things for me when people are uncertain about living a lean mind-body method and everything that goes with it, and then they embrace it. You know, they take on new ideas, and then they achieve the results that they desire. It's one of the most satisfying things for me, being a coach and sharing my experiences with everybody. And that's what I want to do with the Lean Tribe community, the Lean Lifestyle Tribe community, which I'm gonna be launching soon, which I'll just give you some basic information at the end of the video. So we're gonna leave this just to cook for about another 10 minutes, and that should be all mixed in and nicely. Then we'll come back and then we'll add the last ingredient to this Caribbean plantain and spinach curry. So the dish has been on for about, I'd say about 50 minutes, because the plantain I had wasn't as ripe as I would like, and you really want the plantain to be, you know, cooked down really nice and soft. And I like to check it just by pushing a fork through to make sure it goes all the way through very nicely. I mean, you cook it to your taste. You might want the plantain to be a little bit harder, but I really like it to be a bit soft. And you know, you can really smell that aroma from the plantain and the curry. So this has been on about 15 minutes now for this particular dish. Now we're just going to add the last item, and that is the wasp spinach, and we're just going to put that on top. Spinach, you know, really does shrink down, so it doesn't really matter if you think you're putting too much. This will really just kind of evaporate and shrink down. And spinach is such a nutritious green vegetable to eat, so it's really, really great to include in your meals. So all I do is I just, you know, put the spinach on top, press that down, and then all I do is leave the lid on to let that again simmer down. This process normally takes about, say, 5 to 7 minutes just to kind of incorporate the spinach in the plantain curry. And every couple of minutes you can just come back and, you know, just gently turn it so it's all incorporated. So we'll see how this cut looks in about 5 to 7 minutes. I don't know if you like me and you like cooking to music, but I love cooking with music in the background. I really think it makes the food taste better. And at the moment I'm listening to Carmichael. I love his music, so I'm just gonna share with you just a little bit, just a few seconds. Don't want to infringe any copyright of the music that I've been cooking this dish to.
One day I had a dream, the beautifulest dream that I've ever seen. Cause I was soaring above the clouds, and one had wings so fresh and green.
You may have your own music that you listen to, but I love listening to music when I cook. So let's come back in about 5 minutes and just see how this dish is getting on. So the dish has been on about 5 to 6 minutes now, and I stirred it in between just to mix in the spinach. So this is the dish looking absolutely lovely. Plantain and spinach curry, I can really smell it now, and it kind of really gets your appetite going. So let's just see how this dish actually tastes now. Yeah. So we'll just just take a little bit of it out here and put it on the plate. You see the plantain there with the curry, just giving it that really, really, really nice mixture of colours. I love colours. Then we have the red and the green and then the yellow from the plantain. So let's just see how this tastes. Oh, that's absolutely gorgeous. Lovely. It is such a lovely and simple meal to make, and you can taste the hotness from the scotch bonnet. Remember, you just put as much scotch bonnet as you can handle in here, and you can taste the curry, and then you can taste the sweetness from the plantain. It's absolutely a gorgeous dish, and as I said, you can have it as either a side dish or you can have it as a main meal with your cauliflower rice. So it's a great dish, plantain and spinach curry. Now, I did mention that I would tell you about a community that I'm looking to build, and that is the L.E.A.N Lifestyle membership community. It will be launched in a few weeks, and you'll have the opportunity to participate and journey with me over the next weeks, months and years to develop a lean lifestyle, live out the 4 areas of the L.E.A.N Mind Body Method, and become healthier and fitter. Your future self will thank you. And I think if there's one thing this coronavirus has brought home to us, is how we need to look after our health, look after our bodies, look after our immune system, and look after our minds. And that's exactly what you'll be able to do in the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe community. And over the next coming weeks, I'll share some more details with you about that community. But for now, from the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Kitchen, all I'd like to say is bye for now, and remember to make health your habit.